The other day, I did a speech and language evaluation for a child who wasn't yet saying words and ended up spending a lot of time speaking with the parent about some things we want to look for their child to do before saying words that sort of have nothing to do with saying words and everything to do with saying words at the same time. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what I mean. I'm Gabrielle, and as a pediatric speech-language pathologist, I want to help you help your child connect with you and the world around them and grow into the person that they are truly meant to be. Parents are always asking about what their child should be doing at their age and what they can do to help prepare their child for the next stage. So if this sounds like you can access a free roadmap of communication for children birth through 5 years old, linked down in the description below. And this is 100% free to you. It helps show you how a child's communication develops all the way up until they're ready to enter school. I know that you are probably a busy parent, so I will get to the point quickly with this video. Before a child learns to say any first words, they need to have some social communication skills that are foundational to saying words. And when I say social communication, no, I am not talking about having good manners or being able to hold a conversation. I am talking about being able to pay some attention to you, showing interest in others, or responding to interactions with a smile or a clap or any other type of response. The main point here is that children show motivation and intent to engage with you. These skills are the foundation for learning how to communicate. And these skills are what fuel the entire process of learning to say words. So here are the 4 skills that I want you to look for in your child. These are the things I'd expect to see in about a 9-month-old who's getting ready to say their first words in the next few months or so. The 4 skills that a child learns before they're ready to say words are 1, to pay attention to people, 2, to listen to what others say, 3, to initiate contact with others, and 4, to enjoy playing together and sharing experiences. So now let's take a deeper look at each one. Number 1, does your child pay attention to people? The first thing that I look for is whether a child can pay attention to people around them. And it's because without this, a child can't really learn how to engage or communicate simply by responding to what is going on around them because they're not paying attention. So ask yourself, when you talk to your child, do they look at you? And for how long? Do they smile, laugh, or make sounds to show you they're enjoying the interaction and to show you that they understand it's a mutually enjoyable exchange of attention that you're having? If they just glance at you and then look away, they may not yet be fully engaged, and that's something we want and need to see develop before they start talking. And please remember that this is generally speaking. Of course, your child isn't going to sit and have their eyes locked and glued on you with every single exchange. But the reason why I bring this up is because if you're not quite hearing your child make lots of sounds and they're not babbling, and you notice maybe they're not reaching the milestones that you would expect them to, you should pay attention to if they're paying attention. Do they respond to you when you try to engage them? That's really the point of this. How are they paying attention? Are they paying attention? For how long? You just want to notice if they respond to your interactions with them and your attempt to engage with them with their attention. Number 2, do they listen to what others say? We want to make sure that your child is able to listen and respond to language. By language, I just mean the words that we say. All of these skills build on one another. If your child doesn't ever pay attention to people and what they're doing or saying, how can they ever listen in order to learn what words mean or to follow very simple little directions? Does your child react when you say things like pick up the book? Or do they follow other simple directions like this one? Does your child point to specific parts of their face or body when you say things like, where's your nose? Or where's your foot? If they do, then they're starting to show that they're able to listen and understand words. These are just examples. You need to think of what is common in your home and routine that your child would be familiar with. However, if your child is sort of in their own world and they're not aware of the words for objects or people in their environment, they may not have strong listening skills yet to understand words, which of course in turn makes it difficult to use any words. In speech therapy, we call this receptive language, and this is the ability to understand what others are saying. And this skill comes before expressive language, which is the ability to use words and speak. Number 3, do they initiate contact with other people? This third skill, which is initiating contact, is a skill where the child has really turned the corner and shows you just how much they've learned by paying attention, being engaged with, and listening to others all the months of their life so far up to this point. This is a big milestone because it shows your child is learning that when they do something, it causes something else to happen. For example, they might look at you and clap or make a sound or babble, all in an attempt to get your attention. They're starting to realize that their actions affect their environment, and this is a huge step toward communication with sounds and words. A side note that I want to make here is that if your child only screams or cries to get your attention and nothing else, no sign of calm vocalizations, just sort of turning on their voice in a calm way, no babbling or consistent types of communicative gestures, this may be a sign of communication frustration, that they have a need they want to communicate with you, or they simply need or want to engage in some way, but they don't yet know how. This is something that a speech-language pathologist can help with. Moving on to number 4, do they seem to enjoy playing together and sharing experiences? This is so important because play is where kids learn language. It's when they have some sustained learning time where their attention is locked in and they have the opportunity to learn lots of important words, which will in turn be some of the first words that they use. Being able to enjoy playing together and sharing experiences comes from having the foundational skills that I've already listed. Of course, they need to be interested enough in the play to pay attention. They need to have the skill to listen, to understand what's going on, or it's no fun, and they're not attentive or engaged for long enough. The play won't seem as fun because they don't really get what's going to happen. For example, that the car will go, or the blocks will fall down, or that in pretend play, the baby will go to sleep. For them, the toys may just seem like objects, and they don't quite yet understand the world of fun that toys allow them to have. Because of this, they're not able to learn these words that are often used in play, like go, down, or sleep. So I hope you're seeing how important the foundational skills to saying words are and how these skills truly come together and rely on one another. Sometimes when a child doesn't yet have the skill to play, it's common for parents to say that their child just plays by taking things out of drawers or making a big mess, or that they just like throwing things. And this is often because, as I have described, they don't yet have the skills for functional play yet because they don't quite understand how or why to play. So they sort of make up their own little games and ways of just getting a reaction out of you. And being able to play together and share together is also important because it nourishes the back and forth communicative relationship between the child and another person, which is a key skill to learning words and talking. Before a child starts using words, they need to build these essential foundational skills: paying attention to people, listening to language, initiating contact, and enjoying shared play. These are the building blocks that help them understand how communication works and set the stage for learning to speak. If you notice your child isn't yet showing these skills, it may be a sign that they need a little extra support. And as always, if you have concerns about your child's development, do not hesitate to reach out to a speech-language pathologist for guidance. The more you know about these early stages, the better equipped you'll be to help your child thrive as they grow into their own unique communicator. As a follow-up to this video, if you would like some real tips on how to encourage these skills in your child, then watch the video that is linked down in the description below. If you like tips like these on helping your child develop through their milestones is something that you want to learn more about, then please hit the bell icon to subscribe so you don't miss any new updates. And to help you know if your child is on track with their communication milestones, don't forget to download the Roadmap of Communication for Children birth through 5 years old for you to see the big picture from when your child is born all the way to when they're entering kindergarten, which you can get for free down in the description below. And before you go, let me know down in the comments what you'd like to learn more about so I can make more resources just like this one for you and your family.